Welcome to Digital Systems with Terrence. So, we were supposed to be creating a vending machine that would vend an item at 40 cents and vend an item at 45 cents, but also give change. So, here in my state diagram, if we take a closer look, at state 0, we start off with 0 cents. If you had a nickel, you go to state 1 with 5 cents. If you had a dime, you go to state 2 with 10 cents. And in each state, depending on what you input, is what state you will go to. So for example, if you go to state 2, if you input a dime, 10 plus 10 equals 20. So you go to state 4 at 20 cents. At 20 cents, if you input a nickel, you'll go to 25 cents, and so forth and so on. But if you put a dime, from 25, you go to 35, and from 35 to 45. So, once you reach state 8 with 40 cents, from that state you will vend and go right back to state 0. If you go to state 9 with 45 cents, you will output, you will give change, and you will vend an item and go return to state 0. So let's look at the code. Here we have our code. So, as you can see, I have my input items, the clock reset, nickel and dime, which is replaced by N and D, and then I have vend and change. So, I create my states, of state 0 all the way to state 9, and we're just going to walk through this. So, if reset is equal to 1, then my current state stays as state goes to state 0. Else if on clock event and clock equals 1, your current state will then equal your next state. So in state 0, if you are not going to vend or give out change. So if you put in a nickel, then you go to state 1. If you put in a dime, you go to state 2. If nothing else, then you stay at the state that you're at. State 1, you're not outputting anything. And if you put in a nickel, you'll go to state 2. If you put in a dime, you go to state 3. As you can see, it's the same for state 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay.
But when you go to state 8, you will see that you will then vend out an item, you won't give change, and you will return to state 0. But in state 9, you will vend and give out change and return to state 0. On my test bench, you will see that I have set my reset on an alternating clock. So it'll be 1 for 10 seconds, and it'll be 0 for 500 seconds, and then it will turn back to 1 for another 100 seconds. My clock will be 0 for 5 seconds, and it'll be 1 for 5 seconds. So it'll just switch back and forth. And then my nickel and dime, nickel will be 0, dime will be 1. After 12 seconds, or nanoseconds, it'll switch back to nickel being 1 and dime being 0. So as you can see, you start off with your dime. That's 10, 15, 25, 30, 40. So at 40 cents, you're only supposed to vend. So there's your vend right here. Then you go back to state 0. And that's when you see right here your nickel. So that's 5, 10, which is 15, 20, 30, 35, and then 45. And once you hit 45, you're supposed to vend and give out change. So that's what these two posters are here.